realistically, if I write a book, are like, 3% as many people gonna see it as if I just made a YouTube video, like a lot of people like Sam Harris, who I just mentioned, I got into him from reading his books, and then at a certain point it just became so much more efficient for him to just do podcasts. And so I don't know, like in terms of having like a big pie in the sky ass idea, I'm not 100% sure about that at this time, and I sometimes feel like I need to create more space in my life. That's why I'm glad in a few months I'm going to my honeymoon with my girl for like a month. So hopefully I can create more space to just sort of think about like what exactly I want to be doing with my time. But
how long have you been together?
6 years.
And what made you say, now I'm getting married after 6 years?
Well, I always said that I didn't want to get married, or at least I didn't care about getting married. And then we had a baby. And then immediately it just became so clear in my head, like, you need to get married. Like, you clearly are planning on, I already planned on being with her long term when we had a baby, but I don't know, the wedding and the marriage thing just it just seems so much more important. Like, all of a sudden, once I had the kid, I just like realized the importance of the institution of marriage so much more. And it just felt like it was the right thing to do. I don't know.
So if I understand Plug Talk correctly, you have a unicorn situation in which you and your girlfriend, soon to be wife, get to fuck other women and enjoy it together. Is that right? Kind of the layout of the show?
We interview them and then we have sex with them.
Now, to some people, that's like, oh my gosh, you've cracked the code. You've taken the red pill. Oh my gosh, the numbers are flying across the screen. Life is unlocked. But I think with everything, there's a yin and yang to that. So like, did you have to structure clear boundaries or rules, or how do you manage? What are the downsides of the open relationship, and explore that?
So we don't have like a traditional open relationship because we don't sleep with anybody else off camera. We're open to the idea of sleeping with other girls off camera, but realistically it hasn't really happened in like the last.
It's more so strictly business.
Yeah, for the most part. But we got, like, when we first started hooking up, that was something we were doing pretty consistently, was like meeting girls and hooking up with them, And then over time, it just came more and more like, so why are we doing this? Like, why would we go out of our way to just hook up with this girl and have fun when we could do it on camera and make serious money off of it? So that's really how we kind of got led in the direction of doing adult content together. And I mean, crack the code. Like, I mean, I feel like if anything, fucking so many girls on camera has really kind of gotten rid of that. When you're young and it just seems like the coolest thing in the world to get some pussy. And now I'm just so used to the idea of it that it's not alluring to me in the same way. Like, I feel like I could go to a nightclub and run into the fucking hottest supermodel in the world and she could be trying to fuck me and it wouldn't really, like, I feel like I just have like a way different perspective on women and sex as a result of having slept with so many in like a business setting. And so when I see dudes who are like in their 40s and 50s and they're basically like tanking their fucking life because of their desire to have sex with new women, I'm just like, wow, like, I feel like the porn thing has kind of like allowed me to transcend that, which is, I think, kind of valuable, because some of the most successful men in the world cause themselves the biggest, chaos in their lives from just sleeping around or not being able to be faithful or whatever.
Have there been any bumps in the road of that journey?
Like, early on, we would be getting drunk and sometimes doing nose drugs while we were hooking up with random girls. And I remember like one or two scenarios where, like, my girl would be like a little too drunk. This is like 6 years ago. We haven't done drugs in like 4 years, but she would get kind of like, irrationally like angry at me or the girl or whatever. And like, now that we're doing it in like a business setting and we're sober and everything's on the up and up, it's like, I do have to keep in mind that I want her to feel like I'm showing, an appropriate amount of attention to her in comparison to the other girl. But there also is the dynamic of like, my girl's in every episode, so we kind of do want to highlight the other girl and show more of her to whatever extent. But yeah, my girl's like kind of called me out a few times. She's like, oh, so you came kind of fast with that girl today, huh?
Don't you think it's just down to novelty, though?
Yeah, that's what I'd be saying. But I really think there's a thing with vaginas. I think vaginas are like cookies or like cupcakes. Like, when it's made with love, it's just better. It just hits different.
You can tell when someone's really into you and loves you versus they're just doing it to...
I mean, it's two scenarios. Either my girl has like the tightest vagina in the entire world, or it was made with love. And that's part of what makes me so endeared to it. I feel like I can feel the love when I'm fucking her.
That's a beautiful thing.